What's up everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Bree and today we are going to be doing a get ready with me. So I came up with this bronzy kind of smoky look. So it's going to be bronzy and champagne and rose gold, all the gold and melanin blending all together. So if you want to see how I got this entire look, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so let's get started with today's look. So I've already done all of my skincare. So I did do that about 15 to 20 minutes ago. I have heard that you should wait before you immediately go into doing your makeup after you've done your skincare routine, just to let all of those products absorb. So the first things first, gotta start off with some primer. So I am an oily girl, so I go in with all of the powders, the primers, everything. So I'm gonna go in with my Bobbi Brown face base. So this is actually really good. I have kind of gotten out of using it a little bit, but like I said, I want to have like a full face, a good beat face. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that all over, and then just like a little bit of extraness, basically to kind of, you know, get everything smoothed down before I go in with all of my primers. Next up is the actual primer. So I love the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is Bay. As you can see, I've been using a whole lot of it. I'm going to go ahead and put this all over my face just to get it primed and ready to go. And as you probably saw, I had like a little bit of a gloss once I first got started, and now it's kind of matting it out and kind of smoothing everything out. So it's doing its job already. It understood the assignment. And last but not least, I actually just got this. I know Becca has gone out of business, so it's going to be very hard to find their products. But I do like this just to go in those areas where I said that my pores are a little bit more visible. So I just take a little bit, as it just splatters everywhere. So that's the one thing, be careful with this bottle. But I just take kind of like a little bit, and I just go in to those areas where I told you I have pores. Now, if you are using this after you've put on primer, you want to be careful because it will bead up on you. So you'll get like little white beads. So I just try to be careful once I am putting it on. So usually, y'all, I'm oily. So there's levels to this. So I actually go in with some powder. I have been using the Laura Mercier Deep Powder, and I ran out of it, and I found this Cover FX powder at Sephora. They actually had it on sale not too long ago, so I was like, I'll give it a try. It's glowy. So this is the Illuminating Setting Powder by Cover FX. So I am going to be going over my entire face with powder. I do feel like this helps out a lot. I am going to take my Laura Mercier powder puff. You can use whatever powder puff you have around, but just get you a good old powder puff. And I'm actually gonna pat this all over the face. So you're gonna notice that my face is going to be glowy after this. Not shiny, we got a good glow. I'm gonna go over this, especially my eyebrows. My eyebrows do get shiny as well, but I feel like this powder helps out a lot. Next up, these brows. So as y'all can see, Bree does not have brows. I mean, I got some brows, but you know, I don't feel confident about them. We're getting there. So it definitely took me a good amount of time to develop the brow that I like, that I can do on my own, and it doesn't take me forever and a day to do. So I've been through many brow pencils, but this one is Bay Morphe. So this is going to be the micro brow pencil. I use it in the shade Java. It's amazing. It's only $6, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead, get these brows going. So what I like to do is brush the brow hairs up. So I do not follow necessarily my natural brow line. I kind of, you know, make my own basically. So you can do whatever you want with your brows. Just make sure that you don't get no angry bird brows, angry brows or anything. So I'm gonna go in with this Morphe brow gel just to kind of set them. I don't use a lot, and I just kind of go in the areas that really have my brow hairs, which is usually right up in here. So once I have done that, I'm now gonna clean my brows up just to get them a little more snatched. So I go in with my NARS. This is going to be their Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I use the shade Caramel, so it is a little bit lighter. So I know sometimes you do want to kind of highlight underneath, and of course I'm gonna go over this with foundation so it all evens out. But I do take this to even out the brows. So next up, best part, foundation. So I have my NARS. This is the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. Looked up once again, found this at a Marshall's for like 17 bucks. I was a little nervous because sometimes, you know, people be playing in the products. And this one didn't like it had been tampered with too much, and it was $15, y'all. This is like $45 if you walk into like a Sephora or an Ulta or anywhere else. So I was like, ooh, bam, this is me. What I'm going to do, this brush is clean. I did wash it, it's just stained. Wash all my brushes. Wash your brushes, y'all. Wash your brushes. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. It is a little bit watery, kinda. So I just kind of take a few pumps. Just be careful, because I have ruined, see, look, it's already getting on my my thumb here. I've ruined some shirts and some robes. But yeah, just kind of get those areas. You can always go back into as well. And I'm just gonna blend that out. So going all over the face. Make sure you get down below by the neck. I usually don't like putting makeup on my neck. I am wearing a white shirt. So that's something I'm definitely going to be mindful of. Okay, so since I do want my face to, you know, stay on all day and just be good, I usually go in with some setting spray in between the layers of my makeup. So I do have foundation on now. So I love this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Y'all, this is really good. I think you can get this at Sephora, and of course on their website. It is a little pricey, but as you can see, I've used quite a bit of them. I'm about to run out. So it is really good. Definitely grab you some when you're ready, but I just like to kind of go in and set the base. So I do got my little handy dandy fan here. So we're gonna turn her on, and we're just gonna make sure, because you know sometimes if you use setting spray, you'll end up with like the little spray marks on your face. So you just want to make sure that it evenly dries on here before you continue on with your face. But this is what's going to help your face to stay on longer and everything. Alrighty, so next up we are going to go ahead and get started with the eyes. So I'm going to take this NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in Caramel as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put some on my eyelids just to kind of get them primed. I do love the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder. I use the shade Cashew. So I use this to set my eyelids, and then I also use this to set under eye concealer as well. I'm gonna take this Morphe. This is a M448 brush. It's like a little pointed powder brush. It's definitely good in kind of getting in those creases, but it'll work today as well for me to go ahead and set this concealer. Now for the eyes, I want to do like a bronzy kind of eyeshadow look today, like a smoky brown bronzy. So hopefully that'll all make sense. So I do have my Warrior palette by Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place palettes are bomb, and they are inexpensive. I believe this one little palette is about $14 or so, and you get some really great shades. This is a great like travel palette because it's got all your neutrals. It's got some shimmers in there, so it's good. As you can see, that's my favorite color because we're starting to hit pan right there, but really great palette. And then just Glam by Cham all around. So I do have her eyeshadow palette as well. It's her Natural Glam palette. It does have a mirror on here. But y'all, look at these shades. This is definitely brown girl friendly, but I feel like everybody can use it. But it's got some shimmers in there, some mattes. And I'm going to start off with this color here in the corner. It's kind of like a good like starter shade, like a transition shade. This one's called In Crowd. So I'm just gonna take like a little fluffy brush, blending brush. I'm gonna go ahead and get some on here. Tap off the excess. Since I do have foundation on, I try to limit, you know, if there's excess product, because it will start falling on your face and stuff, and then try to blend it out and it's a mess. So be careful. All right, so now I've kind of got my base going. You can kind of see it. It is like the same shade as my skin tone, so it's a little bit harder to tell. But now I'm going to go in with like a chocolate brown color. So I'm going to use my Morphe. It's like a fluffy brush, but it's a little bit more dense. This is going to be their M433 brush. And I'm going to take this chocolate brown called Henny, like Hennessy, but Henny. So this one you want to go in with a little bit sparingly. So I kind of tap it on the brush. Course, tap off that excess. So as you can see, you've got a little bit on here. So this one is one of those blending things where you need to take your time. So try to go in with little. You can always add on more. You don't want to go in heavy because then you're going to be blending all day. So I kind of like to start here in the crease, and as you can see, we're kind of going in sparingly, but we've kind of got it all over. So just take your time blending it out. I might want it to be a little bit deeper, but like I said, I can always go in and add a little bit more, but you don't want to start off, you know, too heavy-handed. I'm also going to drag it out a little bit too, and it's something that we can clean up once we go in with our concealer as well. Something that I also try to do is open up my eyes. Usually, as y'all saw, I keep my eye closed, but you also want to see how it's looking with your eyes open, because that's what everybody's going to see is your eyes open. So this is kind of where I can tell if I need to, you know, go up a little bit higher or, you know, blend it out a little bit better. And I'm going to go back over this with our transition shade too. And I'm going to go back over it with that In Crowd shade and just make sure that it's blended out. You don't want any harsh lines where it's like one shade, two shade. So yeah, just make sure that you're blending that out really good. All right, so next up, now we're going to go ahead and add in like a shimmer color. This is where that bronziness is going to come in. So if I'm using a shimmer, I usually try to go in with this NYX glitter primer. This is really good, something that you can find at your local drugstore or Ulta. And I believe it's like $6-7, so not too bad. But I like to go in with this. It helps the glitter just adhere a little bit better. It makes it pop too. So I definitely notice a difference. You want to be careful when you're putting this on here because it can shoot out as well, but this is about how much that I like to go in with. So I'm gonna put this all over the lid, or if you know that there's a specific place where you want to put your shimmer, put that there as well. So just the lower part of the lid, I'll probably bring it up a little bit higher. I don't think I have like hooded lids, but sometimes, as you can see, it's a little bit tougher to see my actual eyelid, so just making sure that I'm bringing that all the way up. All right, so this is where we're actually going to switch it up. I'm going to switch to my Juvia's Place Warrior palette. Since we're kind of going for that bronzy eye color, I'm actually going to use this one. It's going to be in the bottom, if you're looking directly at the palette, the bottom right hand corner, but just such a super pretty shade. I'm taking this little flat shader brush. This is a Morphe M124. So we are going to apply this on. I did get some fallout. Probably could have tapped a little bit more off, but not too bad. So as you can see, this is a really pretty bronzy kind of shade. So this is where I kind of like to open the eye up a little bit, just to kind of see where it's laying. So now I'm going to take that same brush where we use like the darker shade, and we're just going to kind of blend it. So next up, we're going to start with some concealer. So I have the Kevyn Aucoin. This is their Sensual Skin Enhancer. So this is really thick. When you put it on, you got to move quickly to get it blended out. But this is really good. This is definitely good for those full coverage looks. And it lasts forever. So as you can see in here, you know, I've had it for quite a bit and there's still a lot left. So this one is on the pricey side as well. I believe it's like $48 now. If I'm telling y'all prices, I did not pay that price. I usually get a gift card or a coupon, or so wait for it to go on sale. And I'm also going to go in with my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is amazing. It's the multi-use sculpting concealer. This is bomb as well. So I'm going to actually use both of them. So first things first, I'm going to go in with a little flat concealer brush. This might also be a shader brush, but y'all, I've used all of them across the board. But this is a Glam by Cham. It's a part of her Eyebrush collection. So this is brush number 102. So first things first, I'm going to take this Kevyn Aucoin concealer. Like I said, you only need a little bit, but I'm going to go in, get some on the brush here. So I like to put concealer right here up under the eye. And then I also like to go out. So this is where you can kind of like sculpt out your concealer. I also like to put some right underneath the nose here. I used to put some on my chin, but I don't really care for it as much anymore, so I kind of leave that part out. And then I like to go in like right around the nose here. Of course, got to hit that nose. So just a little bit right up in here. And of course the forehead. So now I'm actually gonna go in over that with my Too Faced concealer. So we're gonna take some and you're really just gonna put it right on top. So this guy, as you can see, it is a little bit of a warmer shade, so which is fine. It'll all kind of blend out because as you can see that Kevyn Aucoin was gonna be super bright on me, but this one evens it out. I learned this technique from a girl on YouTube, super cool, Tasha Washa. So definitely, she's actually a makeup artist too as well, but she has some great tips. I've learned a lot from her. But this was one of her recommendations for when she's doing her looks. We're gonna go in with our contour. So this is going to be the Huda Beauty. This is their, well, it's color Ganache. This is their Faux Filter Skin Finish. So I believe this is actually, yeah, this is a foundation stick. So you can totally use foundation sticks for contour, highlighting, whatever. But I like to kind of go in right here, do a little flick, and I like to go all the way down. I like to blend it out. Because you don't need too much, and then I usually hit the forehead. I have not mastered nose contouring, so we're not even gonna go there. So I have found when it comes to blending out contour, I like to use a sponge. When I use brushes, it seems like it wipes the product off and then it gets like real patchy right here. So my dampened beauty blender, which has actually been sitting for a bit, so gonna get some good contour out of it, or good blending. So as you can see, I'm just kind of bringing it down some. And I do go back over this with bronzer. So if it kind of, as you can see, it's faded out just a tad, but we'll go back over it. All right, so we snatched a little bit. It's a little bit tougher to see on camera. You kind of see a little bit of the contour right there and then up here. So next up, we're actually going to take our blending brush. So I have found that it's easier for me to blend out these areas first before I go in with my beauty blender to really blend it out. So I'm using this Glam by Cham. It's a, I believe it's her concealer brush. Like I said, it's a part of her main brush set, but I like to go in and kind of mark out where I want that concealer to really be. Because if you go in with the beauty blender, sometimes it gets a little bit all over the place. So I found that this helps out a lot for me to go ahead and blend this out. So I know it's gonna look a little crazy and a little light, but we're gonna blend, blend, blend till we can't blend no more. What I like to do is just take the bottom part, which is what we use to blend out our contour, and go over the entire face. Because as you can see, it's like harsh lines right here. I'm not gonna mess too much with the contour, but just in those areas, just to make sure it is really, really blended. Okay, so since we're blending out some, I do want to go back in with that setting spray just to kind of set it, lay it down, make sure everything is where it needs to be. So what I like to do next is go in with like a powder foundation. So I really like this Fenty Beauty one. This is their Pro Filter Soft Matte Powder Foundation. This is in shade 345. So as you can see, it is, you know, lighter than my skin complexion, but great for highlighting. So usually with a powder foundation, it helps to set everything and then also kind of give you that full coverage. So I'm just going to take this pointed powder brush by Morphe that I used earlier, and I'm just going to go in and press it underneath the eye and anywhere where I use concealer, just to kind of help lay everything down, set it, and make it matte. I do smile a lot, y'all, laugh a lot. So I do get smile lines throughout the day. So I really make sure that I smile and put that powder in there. So that kind of helps avoid the creasing that you may notice. Okay, so we are all set. So next things next, you notice y'all, I like my powder. I'm oily, I get oily. So I'm actually going to go in with another Glam by Cham. This is one of her larger powder brushes, and I love this Sephora powder. So this is the Micro Smooth powder. I use the shade Deep 56, but this is a great like all over face powder. So, you know, sometimes when you're going in, you just notice where it may be too highlighted or too contoured. So this is your chance to kind of clear all that up. So I take a good amount on my brush here, as you can see, and I'm just going to go over the entire face. Just make sure everything is evenly blended. Like I said, we don't want any harsh lines, and we want everything to be blended and smooth. So of course you want to, you know, have your highlighted areas, your contoured areas and everything, but overall you still want the face to be sitting, beat, natural, all of that. Okay, so Spirit powder. I told y'all we going in with the powder because this face has got to sit. I'm not leaving home for like another like hour or two. So yeah, we want this face to be sitting and beat. So I like to take that same pointed powder brush, go in with this Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder, tap off that excess. And I really like to kind of focus it in on my under eye. I do crease underneath here, so I like to go in and just kind of add them to those areas where I know I'm either going to get really shiny, and just kind of blend it out. Now, sometimes it can be a little too powdery, but I know it'll all work itself out. So like I said, just kind of going in those areas where I'll get smile lines, and then just kind of tapping in the extra part on here. So next up is where I like to focus back in on the eyes. I was kind of looking back and wishing I would have gone a little bit more chocolatey brown. It's coming up a little bit ashy kind of. So what I think I'm going to do is take a little bit of like this reddish brown color on the Glam by Cham palette, which is going to be its color MILF. It's super cute. So I'm going to take another blending brush, and I'm just going to go in with that one just to kind of warm it up a little bit. All right, okay, so I like that a lot better. Sometimes, you know, after you start your makeup look, you're kind of like, something is not giving what it needs to give. So once again, taking that transition shade, just making sure everything is blended out and good. I also want to add in a little bit more of the glitter, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So going back in this Juvia's Place palette, and making sure that it's up high enough to where you can see it, and maybe bring it up a little bit higher in the inner corners here. Next thing up is eyeliner. So y'all, wing liner, it took me years to really like accomplish, and like eyebrows, eyeliner can go real good one day and real left the next. And I have to use liquid eyeliner because my eyes get oily throughout the day. So I do need liquid. Today I'm using my Huda Beauty one. So I like this one because it's got a liquid liner on one side and it's got a pencil liner on the other. So I take a little bit, and it is kind of like a paintbrush. eyeliner wakes my eyes up, y'all, so y'all can kind of tell the difference. This eye is like, hey girl, and this one's like, ooh, we almost there, we almost there. All right, so we got our wing eyeliner, y'all. Today was a good lighter day, probably because I'm on camera, which is a shocker. But yeah, so eyeliner is done. I went to go in my waterline with the black eyeliner, so I like the Morphe one. This is their Jet Gel Liner. It is really good, once again, inexpensive. Once again, using also the Glam by Cham. It's like a little angled eyeliner brush. Makes it super easy. And I usually like to start in the outer corner, then work my way in. Before I go in with my false lashes, I always put on some mascara on my actual lashes just to make sure that they all blend together very well. So this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is the Makeup Shayla collaboration that she did with them. This is super cute. It's like lips all over it. Really, really cute. So I like to use this one. I like that the wand, it just kind of goes in and goes back out. But I like to go over my lashes with this, just to kind of get them, you know, unclumped together and ready for the falsies. So I do go over the top of my lash and kind of curl them out. I do have naturally curly lashes, but if you don't, this is a way to kind of go on top of them and then swing that mascara out. Now you do want to be careful because I have been known to get little spots, and I believe I did get a few in the part where I put in my powder crease. So usually you want to let that dry first before you go in and get it out, but since it's in my crease, I'm just gonna go ahead and pat it out. So can't really see it too much unless somebody really in your face, which for me, I'm like, Becca. But it's good to kind of go back over it. But yeah, so lashes is ready to go. So this is my natural lash. I mean, I like her, but now that I've been wearing false lashes, I'm like, ooh, nothing like a good false lash to kind of get the party going. Like I said, we cute with just the, you know, mascara on the eyelids, but something about some eyelashes just make it pop. So today, I'm actually going to be going in with these Kiss lashes. So I was in Walmart yesterday and I saw these and I was like, ooh, so they are very boom. So they're not my usual go-to, but I told y'all something about a good lash. So this is their Lash Strip Spiky boosted volume. So this actual one is the You Do You, so DEW 3D drama with the wet effect. I like it. So yes, as you can see, super boom, that girl, all of it. So what I like to do after I've put on my mascara is I'll go in with my lash glue, and this is just some Duo brush on adhesive lash glue, the clear one. Sometimes I do usually like to use black because it blends in with my eyeliner, but this one works really good too. So I am not the lash person that puts the lash glue on the lash. I don't know why, I just cannot do lashes like that. So I go in after my eyeliner has dried, which it really should have by now. I go in and put lash glue where I'm going to be applying the lash first, and then I slap the lash on there. So I like to do this step first to get the lash glue dry and tacky. So I'll go ahead and put this on, and then I'll work on the rest of my face while that's drying, and then going with lashes. Today's bronzer, we're going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. This one is really good and it's pricey, y'all. I believe this one case is like 40-50 bucks. Like I said, got it on a gift card or a sale, but I really like it. And I do like the fact that you can actually purchase just the bronzer. So once I finish this, if I run out, I can just replace the inside of it. I don't have to go buy a whole new one, which is bomb. And I think just replacement is only like 20-30 bucks or so. So I'm like, okay, we can get with that. So I'm going to be taking an angled contour brush, once again, Glam by Cham. This one for me, it is dark, so I don't go in with very much at all. I forgot what shade this is. This is 4. They may have a 3, so I probably could have gone with 3, but you know, I like for my face to be snatched. So I literally just kind of do like 2 little taps and press it in. So I know sometimes you'll see the sweeping motions. With this one, I cannot do that. So just to kind of enhance that contour that we did earlier. All right, so I told you I'm not very good at nose contour, but I like to try. So this is an angled kind of brush. Sorry, let me show you guys. So yeah, it's kind of like this. So it helps kind of get in those little smaller areas. So this is a Morphe E62 brush. So once again, I'll kind of tap it in there. And what you do is you'll start from the eyebrow and just kind of like blend it out to kind of snatch in those inner corners, because y'all know I kind of went a little ham earlier with my concealer, my highlighting concealer. So as you can see, it's just kind of snatching it up a little bit, and it's blending in also with my eyeshadow, so if you kind of mess up, it'll just blend right in. Then I kind of like to bring it down some. You got to be careful though, because if you put too much, it is noticeable. Like I said, I've been that person where I thought it looked cute at home, and then I went out and I was like, ooh, I went a little too ham on my contour. And then I like to just kind of blend out the nose area here. So nothing too dramatic. And once again, like I said, if I feel like I use too much right here, just take that powder brush that you used earlier, just kind of blend it out some, because I can definitely tell where I put it. All right, so next up is blush. So I'm going to be using my NARS blush. This is the NARS Savage. Tamara Renee, who's also on YouTube, she put me onto this, and it is gorgeous. Once again, caught on sale at Nordstrom, I believe. NARS blushes, excuse me, they can run about 30 bucks, but I think I ended up getting this one for like $20, which I was like, sold, I'm there. I'm there. Y'all, if you shop at Nordstrom, if you save things to your wish list, you'll get an email when it goes on sale. So usually I'll create like a whole little wish list, and then if it does go on sale, I'm like, oh, add to cart. So yeah, so this is the color. Get into it. It's like a, ooh, how can I describe? It's like a bronzy, but like a little bit of blush pink. Well, not blush pink, but you know, like a rosy gold bronze kind of. So very pretty. So I got my blush brush. This one I got out of a set off of Amazon. Unfortunately, I don't have it anymore. If I can find the actual set, I'll link it down below. But usually get in a little bit, as you can see, just enough. So this one, you'll actually go over your bronzer. So before, you know, you used to smile and put it all over your cheeks. Apparently they ain't the move no more. So what I like to do is barely smile and tap it over where I did my bronzer. So we got a little bit of rosiness. Of course, it's showing up a little bit more in my mirror than it is on camera, but I don't want to be going ham and looking too rosy. So y'all kind of see it here and there, but such a pretty color. It's very subtle, and I feel like it goes with this bronzy kind of eye look that we've got going on today. But yeah, so you actually start by the cheeks and bring it up like you're doing your bronzer. So that is the new way for blush. Some people actually do it all over their face. I ain't there yet. I don't know if I'll ever be there, but yeah, so that's usually how I like to do it. And then last but not least, we got the highlight. So I have this Fenty Beauty one. This is the Afternoon Snack and a Mo Honey color shade. So just like a pretty champagne kind of color, a little bit of rose gold, but more so champagne. So I'm gonna take my highlighter brush. This is going to be the Morphe by Jaclyn Hill collaboration. This is the JH09. So usually I like to just kind of tap in both of them, kind of tap off the excess. I like to highlight right here. So as you can see, it's subtle, you know, so if I turn my head, you're like, ooh. And then of course on this side here. And of course, if you go in too much, you can always go back in with your powder brush to kind of tone it down. So, because I have done that. And then what I like to do is go down the nose. It probably is best to apply with your finger. I just like to use brush. Keep my fingers clean as possible. All right, y'all, time for these lashes. So go ahead and get them out the packaging. So you always want to measure your lashes, because sometimes they fit perfectly, which most times they do on my eyes, because I feel like I have very big brown eyes. So, but sometimes I do need to cut like the outer edge, so it's not just a full lash. You can kind of tell. If I know sometimes it's a little bit tougher to see like which eye is which. Usually when it gets a little bit shorter in the middle here, that's usually going to be for your inner corner, and then as you can see, it kind of dips out on the end, so that's going to be the outer part of your eye. So what I like to do is usually cut this one little piece, this piece off here. I know that looks like a lot, but just the way I like for it to sit on my eye, that's enough. So we're gonna cut that off, and we're gonna throw it away because I know my husband's gonna be like, why you got little eyelash hairs all over the house? So yeah, so we're just gonna do that on both eyelashes. Now we're gonna go in with my little eyelash applicators. Once again, Glam by Cham. This is bomb. I'm not that person that can use their fingers sometimes, depending, but I like to use these little guys. They look like tweezers. I cannot use tweezers. I almost tweezed my eye one time, so I was like, oh no, we're not doing this. Like I said, the eyelash glue should be pretty much together. So this is where you might need to either get in a closer mirror, but since y'all are here with me, we just gonna do this together. So I know people tell you to look down. You just gotta watch me. I know, y'all, so I'm supposed to be, you know, showing how I do things and teaching, but yeah, this eyelashes is just like, girl, practice. So we're gonna put that, as you can see, it's sticking good. That's what we want. So we put it down in the middle. And then what I like to do is grab that outer piece and bring her up. She's stuck like Cham. Y'all, we gonna pray for this middle piece or this inner corner. Oops, she's stuck. Get into these lashes. I like it. And I like the spacing. I feel like it's enough to where it's not like overly dramatic. But I love it. But we is stuck, y'all. We is stuck. So we spent just enough time letting that eyelash glue dry. So what you're supposed to do is blend your lashes together with the falsie. Now I admit sometimes I don't do this. I feel like it's just messy, y'all. But it helps blend, because if you got some lashes going this way and falsie going that way, sometimes you can tell. See how the lashes just bring it all together? Yes. All right, so wrapping up the eyes and pretty much this whole makeup look, I do want to add a little bit more brightness into my inner corners. I'm going to go in with this lighter color called Show Off in the Glam by Cham palette. This pretty one right here. So I got like a little mini flat shader brush. This is the Morphe M152. Just going to take a little bit. You don't need that much. And we're just gonna go in this inner corner and brighten her up. So adds a little razzle dazzle to it, not too much. Just make those eyes pop a little bit more. And then also, before I forget, I do want to go in with this reddish brown shade, MILF, right here, and just kind of go underneath the eye, just add a little bit more color before we add in the mascara. So taking a little bit here and just kind of going in underneath, just smoking it out a little bit. Last but not least, you gotta set the face, you gotta set it. So once again, going in with that Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. What I like to do is cover my eyelashes so it's not getting on there, because I don't want it to loosen it up. So I'm just gonna go in. All right, so once I've set my face, I do like to go back in with my mascara, because if you put mascara on before you set your face, you have mascara everywhere. So of course it's fine on the eyelashes because it won't really be running everywhere. But for the bottom lashes, I just like to kind of go in and kind of comb it out. But just kind of wake those bottom lashes up. I wish mine were a little bit more defined, but hey, we'll get there one day. But this is just enough for them. All right, y'all, so I am back and I am dressed. I have on this express bodysuit, just like a little white cap sleeve. So to finish out this look, I'm going to be, of course, doing the lips. So first things first, I got my Morphe pencil. This is in the color Vibes. So color Vibes. So Makeup Shayla, who I follow, she used this one and it looked really, really pretty, like a great chocolatey brown. Okay, so next up, I've got this Morphe liquid lipstick. This is in True Story. I was watching I Am Shelly. Y'all gonna learn. I watch a whole lot of YouTube videos. But she did this color. The next one I'm gonna show y'all, and it gave like a really pretty nude lip. So honestly, you could finish it, but I'm extra. We gotta do a little bit more. So the next one is another Morphe liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Taunt. So she actually went over that shade with this one. Perfect. So like I said, I could go out with this lip too, but this is the Brie gang. We got to do a little bit more. So I'm actually going to go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills, excuse me. This is a lip gloss in Gilded. So I feel like this is like a really pretty, kind of like a rose gold, coppery, bronzy, you know, we just using all those words today. Coppery, bronzy, rose goldy. So yeah, so I'm just going to go over that one because it is going to be more matte, as you can see, but I just want to add a little bit of gloss. And we are done. So y'all, this is the final look. I'm going to go ahead and remove my little scarf. My edges should be laid by now. And this is a chance also to make sure that you know, if you gotta fill in a little bit of areas, but we look to be pretty good. I just got a little messed up right there. It's fine. So what I like to do is just kind of swoop my hair over. These are faux locks. I've had them in almost a couple of months now, so I'm probably getting ready to be changing up my hair pretty soon, but I'm gonna rock them down today. But yeah, but this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely fun to make, with it being my first one. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel. I definitely have a lot more coming. Comment down below what you liked about the look, what you would like to see. Again, it's your girl Bree, and thanks for tuning in. See y'all next time.